Okay.
All right, we're live.
All right, thank you, Penny. Welcome to Living in Oneness, 5 Pillars for Success Summit. I am Nanette Kennedy, here with my colleague, Dee Meyer. We are we are co-coordinators of Humanities Team Community Circle Program. And for those of you who don't know, Humanities Team has over 100,000 teammates in 150 countries. We would like to thank you, our donors, for your support of the Community Circle and for all of our volunteers, because without your in-kind donations and the financial nurturing, we would not be able to do our work in the world. So thank you for joining us today on the phone, on the webcast, and for those of you who are listening to the replay later, thank you for joining us. We are excited to bring Kenji back to the Living in Oneness Telesummit. Today is our great pleasure to share with you Kenji Kumara. We will be discussing moving beyond fear, trusting in the unknown, belief in self, the younger generation, and why they may feel lost, and the benefits you could receive here today is intention to move forward, propel into greatness, living a life without stress and worry, enhanced inner faith, trust, and hope, giving you the power to move through your difficulties, and much more. Kenji's on-call activation, empowering wisdom and the power within. Kenji will take live callers and answer questions from the audience relating to the theme of the discussion. If you have any questions or comments you would like to ask Kenji, submit them into the question and answer box on Instant Teleseminar webcast, and we'll bring your questions into the call. We are also going to try to take some live calls today as well. Penny Heipel and Monica Augustine are producing the call today, and we thank you so much. For those of you on the webcast, please enter your name and where you are listening from. Dee and I will bring in your questions, comments, and aha moments from the webcast. Now, Dee, over to you to introduce Kenji.
Thank you, Nanette. We are super excited. We have 9,000, almost 9,500 people registered for the call today, and you are all in for a real treat. It's a great honor and pleasure to introduce you to Kenji Kumara. Kenji is one of the world's leading visionaries and pioneers in the field of energy consciousness. He works as a transformational messenger, reaching and guiding people from every corner of the globe to the new Earth consciousness and personal and planetary ascension. The results have been profound, with many who have overcome major difficulties and others who have experienced transformational change and multiple consciousness shifts. And the best part is that it's experienced effortlessly with Kenji's style of ease and grace. Known for his unique ability to guide people into deep meditation with his gentle activations, he keeps it simple and effortless as the doorways to source connection are opened. The I Am God Self invoked, and a loving manner, people are shifted into higher awareness and self-mastery. It has been a personal joy to help people understand their life's purpose and claim their destiny with Kenji. Welcome, Kenji.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
Oh,
it is I here in the Red Rocks.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Okay. We've been so looking forward to our call with you today. Would you share with our audience how you started working with the quantum, and how does your work relate to oneness?
Egads. Oh, boy. Well, all I know is it's been a gradual evolution ever since my first years in college, way back in the early 70s. I was a big-time seeker back then, so I sought out who was coming through town, who was coming from India, and Buddhist teachers, and occasional shamans and psychics and healers and all that. So many decades, actually, probably over 3 decades of kind of seeking. I think, well, I knew back in the 70s my calling was with the new generation of young kids. Not necessarily those that are well-adjusted, but those that are having difficulty because of their sensitivity and their sense of not fitting in and aligning with the rest of the population. Those young adults that see things and know things that other people don't, that are aware of levels that they don't talk about to others because of fear of being labeled crazy or too out there or whatever. Because the world's going through this big change where the call is to move out of these old patterns of conditioning and into like a brand new space, a brand new way of living and being. So we've got like these forces that are kind of battling each other. We've got these new energies that are coming in and catalyzing people's unconscious patterns and memories. And we've got the resistance to change, or even those that don't think change is necessary, that they just want to keep on doing what they're doing. But the call is for everyone to move into a more elevated sense of awareness and themselves through learning to meditate or doing yoga or fitness or something that will help each one to tap in. Because the call is to tap in now and to be guided from that place within rather than the external reality that is in many ways collapsing through dysfunction. And there are some really beautiful levels that we're not even aware of that these groups are doing that are just so profound, leadership groups and things that never make the news. And the only way you hear about it is to either maybe move to a new location or connect with people that are doing these really wonderful leading edge ways of thinking and moving in the world to where people can feel more connected and satisfied with what they're doing in their life. Well, that was a long sentence. So getting back to your question, it's just been a gradual awakening, and I think I popped into the quantum on a conscious level. Well, actually it was back in the early 80s when I studied with Dr. Milton Traeger. I think that was actually the second stage. Probably the first stage is when I studied psychic stuff back in the early 70s. And then studied these different healing modalities like Jinshin Jitsu and Reiki and Brahma body work, etc. But I think I really came into this level about 11 years ago or so. And so we've been teaching this and showing people how to do this effortlessly, I guess for about the last 10 years. And since I'm in a new location now, the energy is going to be much different in its activation than what people are used to. It's going to be really neat.
It's very exciting. Kenji, you brought up the new things that are coming about, and we have questions already coming in. Many of the questions have to do with people who are feeling stuck in fear due to the news media. We have so much to celebrate in the news recently. The U.S. Supreme Court legalizes gay marriage. Nationwide, Obamacare was upheld. Nigeria passed a law forbidding female mutilation in May. Truly, these are huge, and they're stepping in the right direction, news that gives hope for humanity to come together as one family. But many people are bringing up the constant barrage of negative news media. What are your thoughts? How can we move beyond fear? How do we learn to trust in the unknown?
Stop watching the news. Period. And YouTube. No, really, seriously.
No,
if there's realities out there that you don't agree with or align with, then don't feed it. Just don't watch it. And don't fight it. Because the call is not to fight against something or somebody in order to create change. That's not the way. That's the old way. That's the old warrior way. So the best thing to do is stop watching these YouTube videos. And there's some truth to these things, but conspiracy things and all that. There's truth to all of that, but you don't want to feed that because, it'll happen when it's going to happen. And you don't want to watch the news because it's designed to depress you. It's designed to make you angry. It's designed to keep you off your focus. So what is your focus? It's within. It's you within. So anything that creates more fear in your life, don't feed it. That's like when you try to train an angry dog, a barking dog. You can't feed that energy of where that dog's at because it'll just make the dog worse. It all goes back to love and peace, it's the old ancient teachings, right? Love is the most powerful energy on this planet, and we forget. We forget that Christ-led consciousness. We forget that level of light and sound. So they know from research that there's a particular hertz frequency that love exists on and vibrates on. And when you play any instrument that vibrates to that frequency, that creates incredible change and harmony in the environment. So our words have a lot of power, more so than like 2 years ago. So everything you say has an effect in the world. So, we're all learning to catch ourselves with what we say. And so if you find yourself saying something that's not the highest vibration, just self-correct. Just say self-correct or cancel that thought or cancel that energy and start over again. God, there's so many simple things that we can do to stay in this place of peace. And we just forget because of our busyness in the world and our to-do list and everything. I am so lucky. I get to sit out here and look at the red rocks, and I can create my life the way I want, finally. So just a little personal story. I went through a big shift, and you guys can probably tell this by my voice, since last October. It's when actually the changes that I had to make began to initiate. So I've kind of been through 9 months of, I don't want to say hell because that's not the right term, but wasn't struggle, but it was a lot of having to move through change and stay conscious and not to go unconscious. And I had to be patient. So for those of you that don't know the story, I came to the Red Rocks country and participated in a workshop back in 1987. And that was one of the pivotal points of planetary change. And most people don't even know of that or have not heard of that, especially the younger generation. But it was kind of like a worldwide getting together in sacred places and creating and anchoring more light and harmony and peace for everyone. So I went up to this side of this vortex and planted a crystal that I used to wear as a pendant into the ground. And my thought was, well, I'll plant this crystal here as part of me, and maybe I'll come back to this area to live. So that was 28 years ago. So I've come full circle on that level, 28 years to wait, to be in a place that's just beautiful and quiet and very healing. So we want to share that vibration with all of you, live and on replay. So as you guys know, we bring forth everything that's up to date. So we kind of give you a blast of the current news in the quantum, which is more peace and more love for self. Actually, so getting back to the theme here, we're actually going to do a kind of a very unusual activation today around the 23rd Psalm, but again having to do with empowering wisdom and power within. And for all of you that have teenagers and young adults that are making their way into the world. This show is for them. So get them to listen to this show because it will help them. And, you know, I have fans that are 9 and 10 years old. That's pretty cool. So we can also work with that young age too.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And I'm glad that you're focusing on the younger people as well. And I just want to ask a follow-up question. This recent news with the Supreme Court, and you were saying, you know, love is the answer to everything that there is. And I, for one, felt I could feel the love on that day. It was so palpable, even through, you know, a Facebook post or something in the news or something sent to my email that said, you know, love wins. So the good news is that there's some good news out there, and we can take advantage of that, don't you think?
Well, even better yet, you create your own good news in your world. So instead of depending upon the outer there to see the good news, let's today, each one of us, choose to be the good news. You be the good news of the day. And what does that mean? That just means planting seeds of love wherever you go throughout the day, in the marketplace, in your family. It doesn't matter where you are. You be the planter, you be the Johnny Appleseed of the good news. I remember that as a little kid, Johnny Appleseed used to plant seeds so apple trees could grow. And I thought, yeah, I'm like that guy.
Well, if we will all be like that.
We all are like that. We just got to act that way.
Yeah.
See, we have everything we need in our life. We just have to really know that whatever you need is available when you need it. Not when you think you need it, but when you do actually need it energetically. So, you know, the ego may think, yeah, I want it now. Well, you want your next step, and you want to be in perfect timing. So, like in my case, I've had to be patient in this lifetime, very patient. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've had to wait a long time. So, it doesn't matter how long it takes. You'll get there.
Well, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. Many of us understand spiritually and intellectually that nothing can separate us from the divine. But from the work that Dee and I do, we know that others don't feel they tap into that energy on a daily basis. What would you recommend to people how to better tap into that faith and trust in God or the universe?
Well, they have to learn to do true prayer or to meditate or to do something to where they tap in and go from without to go within. So basically, you know, and all the mystics, they all say the same thing in this regard. So you take your awareness from the outside through your physical eyes and ears and nose and all that and go within. You just bring your attention within. And within is non-local, so it's not any place in particular, but it is that place other than the external physical realities. So we call that the oneness. We call it the quantum. We call it that place inside in our sacred heart, where when you just bring your awareness there and breathe and relax and receive, then you begin to feel better. And it's not to say your problems go away or your disease goes away or your bad marriage goes away or your loneliness goes away, but you begin to actually know and feel that you can handle wherever you're at. And it doesn't matter where you're at. Where you're at is where you're at.
Mm.
We think we got to be at a certain place. So no, you're at where you're at. And if you're comfortable with where you're at, then you're at peace. See, the key is are you at peace with what you're doing? Or are you worrying, overthinking, and stressing out and all that? Are you doing all the busy stuff and not going anywhere? You know, it's like when your car gets stuck in a rut in the mud, and you try to accelerate, and your tires spin faster and faster, and you're not going anywhere, and the hole gets deeper. Yeah, you don't want to do that anymore. So how many of you out there are kind of like spinning your car tires in this rut, right? You're stuck in the mud and like, God, got to shift out of first gear, second gear, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm still, and the hole's getting deeper, and like, ooh, somebody help me, push me out of this rut, right? Well, your higher self will push you out of the rut. See, we have to rely on our higher self primarily, not your spouse, not your kids, not your parents, not your friends. It's your higher self. So this is the new learning on the planet. You got a problem? Okay. Meditate, tap in, and ask. All right, show me the next step. Show me the solution to this. And then you have to just wait and be patient like the Buddha taught, because you can't force it. You can't force the change, but you can initiate the change. And only your higher self knows the best timing, not your ego, your conscious mind, or your logical mind. Your logical mind is meant to like balance your checkbook every month and pay rent or your mortgage. Go get gas. But for spiritual matters, yeah, that's your higher self. So we have to make a distinction again, moving beyond fear, trusting in the known belief in self. So really, fear, that's the worry. That's what we're all worried about. And what are we worried about besides dying? Besides that? What are we worrying about? So I just posed that question to the audience. Not to be answered right now, but it's like, all right, so what's your worry? Imagine this. Imagine if you didn't have any worries at all about anything. What would your life look like? Everybody take a deep breath. And what if you could be in that place where you could trust in the unseen and the unknown? Like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent this month. Okay. Give it over to your higher self. I don't know I'm going to solve this problem in our relationships. And my kids just sometimes act so badly, and I can't control them, and I don't know what to do. Or I'm facing homelessness and bankruptcy. Egads, right? So you have to trust that you are being correctly guided. And when you believe in yourself, that's that non-local entity we call the soul. When you believe in the goodness of life, well, what more is there really? Belief in knowing. So we are all walking through the valley of the shadow of death in one way or another. Are we not? Yes, this is a time of great change. And we said it was going to be easy. I mean, it can be very graceful. And, of course, it's very rewarding. And all of you know some of your hardest times in your life are your greatest rewards, your greatest learnings. But in the midst of that, in the process of going through all of that, like going through a divorce or going through a separation or losing your job or having to lay people off from your company, whatever it is, yeah, it's not easy, but you know what you need to do. And see, the worry comes in, the fear comes in, the stress comes in when you know what you have to do and you don't do it. You don't pay attention to the whisper of the soul. You disregard it in some ways. You procrastinate. Or you go into denial. Or you just say, oh, well, I don't want to go there. You know, a lot of men say, I don't want to go there. Well, they better go there, because if they keep saying, I want to go there, God, they're just going to be unhappy. Got to go there. You got to face your emotions or feel your emotions. There's nothing wrong with feeling your emotions. In fact, that's probably our problem, is we don't know how to handle our emotions very well or express it very well. And that's why we have our bodies, because that is what makes up the body. If you didn't have emotions, your body would not exist, really. Your body feeds off your emotions. So, love, fear, worry, what?
I love the
this
whisper.
Is going to be a different presentation today.
Yeah, I love the whisper of the soul, because I know when I'm listening to that whisper, and I also know when I've stepped out of that, like being busy, what you were saying before. And I have a question that just came in from somebody on the phone who did not choose to give their name. They just said that if I'm having trouble believing in God or a higher power, how can I trust in myself, and how can I improve my belief in God or a higher power?
Well, see, for all of you that kind of have that, it's a conditioning that was put upon you when you were very young or in past lives. It's as simple as that. It's a conditioning, a belief system that was put upon you. And all of you know on a soul level that God is not an angry God or a vengeful God or a judgmental God. Most people on this planet believe that God is judgmental. And that's a bunch of horse poop, to put it gently, politically correctly. It's horse poop. You know that. But yet, your inner child or some part of you is still hanging on somewhere in the unconscious of that belief. And belief in sin and all of that. And look at this. We come into the world, and pretty much a majority of the religions teach you that you're already born in sin. Oh, my God. I don't know of a worse thing that you can energetically project to a baby or a toddler or a very young person of 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know anything that's more damaging than that. So all of you that were raised with the idea, and it's just an idea again, that God is a loving God and does not make judgments upon your actions and your thoughts and behavior, and that you're not going to be punished and you're not going to go to hell or purgatory when you die. Those are well-adjusted people. So you have to remember, your stuff, your poop stuff, comes from your childhood. Everything, your childhood issues are really past life reflections that you chose to bring forward. And those of you that are here for the first time, you don't have that particular game going on. But conditioning happens in the first 7 years, thereabouts, of everyone's life. How you were raised and taught by your parents and by the church determines where you are now. No one has proved that the devil exists. Ramtha proved that. In fact, I challenge people, if you believe that, go search in the universe for the devil. It doesn't exist. It's an idea. Satan's an idea. Yes, there are people that do bad behavior on the planet. We know that. And why they chose that? God, I don't know. Ask God that. I can't answer that one. But all I know is the earth herself, and we're part of her evolution, has chosen to be a planet, a star of peace. So no more fighting eventually on this planet will be allowed. I don't know how many more decades. It's not going to happen in 2 years. But eventually there will be no more fighting on this planet because people will realize that's not the way to do things. So in the meantime, what do? We make peace with ourselves. So in this activation, we're going to go within and trigger everything that's holding you back from realizing and manifesting and being your soul in and embodiment on the earth. See, you're not here to develop the ego per se. You came here to learn to embody your soul. But of course your parents didn't tell you that because they had no clue, by and large. And whenever we run into parents that really teach their kids the right way, it is so refreshing to see these kids. They're so well adjusted and so tapped in and tuned in. You ask them a question, and if they're really open and not afraid of you, they'll give you an answer. They don't have to meditate. They just go, poof, okay, what's next? See? So we can learn from these kids. We don't have to go into this overthinking realm to figure something out. We just have to learn to trust. So whenever you say, when someone asks you anything, you say, I don't know, you're just plain stupid. You're playing stupid. You're not stupid. You're just playing that game of, I don't know. And you really do know. You just haven't given permission to speak it. So you all have permission today to release your inner child from being in the closet, from being shy, from being timid, because your inner kid knows. It has to have permission to speak freely all the time, You know, illness can be from holding your expression back. Ooh, that's a new thought. Dr. Oz? Get that. It could be simply from withholding your emotional expression. And this is in an everyday sense. So this is in a mundane sense. This is in a spiritual sense. This is on all levels. So what if you were able to circulate the energies all the time, like in a figure eight flow in your life every day? Wow. How would you be then? So I'm posing that question to you guys. So if you were able to just freely let the energies flow through you, what would your life be like?
You know, Kenji, that is really fascinating. It took me back to when I was a kid, and playing dumb was a safety mechanism.
Yeah.
With 5 kids, if you didn't say anything, you weren't going to get in trouble.
Yeah, get in trouble. Oh, jeez.
If you're
the last thing a kid wants to do is get in trouble, right?
I know it. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Kenji Kumara, and I'm Dee Meyer, here with my co-host Nanette Kennedy on the Living in Oneness Year-Round Summit. Also, if you're on the call live and would like to chat with Kenji, press star 2, and we'll bring you into the call. Kenji, would this be a good time to share your attunement?
Don't know. It all depends.
On what?
It depends on if you want to have your audience zoned out when you go over the show package or not.
Oh, well, which do you think is best?
I don't know. We could do it right now.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody find a comfortable place and make sure you're in a quiet place. Turn off everything that might ring or make a noise, and please don't listen to this while driving your car. And remember to drink water afterwards. Speaking of which, I'm going to get my fluids here next to me. Water helps your body to integrate the activation because water is a conductor. And if you have structured water, That's really good. Okay, so you can lie down for this if you wish. We're going to invite all the kids that might be in your household to come listen to this. We're going to invite your pets. But don't put your pets on your body. Just have them nearby because they need their own space too. And we're going to do this for your ancestors that are ready, that are actually here. We won't charge them. It'll be free. But they can send money, your ancestors, and your family members that are on the other side, like your parents, your grandparents, any brothers and sisters that have passed, any babies that have passed, and actually any of your pets that have passed, maybe as puppies or kitties. So we want to invite actually the whole family. Your soul group is invited. So we'd like you to invite the Ascended Masters. You don't have to know who they are. Just put out a call to the Brotherhood and the Sisterhood to come join us. And the angels. There are many order of angels. And all those that are not busy right now, we like you to come and just hang out with us. And we're going to invite the spirit of the land here, the red rocks, and the clouds, and the blue sky, and the trees, and the water, to come join us. So we want you to feel very comfortable energetically with who's here. So we're going to breathe to relax the body because it's important for the body to be in a relaxed, receiving space for this activation. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You're going to take a very slow, conscious, deliberate, deep breath in through the nose, all the way up into the pineal gland, and then into the brain. And then you're going to hold that light in the brain for 5 seconds and feel it in your hemispheres. And then slowly exhale through the mouth and feel all the old energy in the brain moving down your spine, down to your sacrum and tailbone, and then down your legs and out your feet. Now you're going to keep your chakras in the palms of your hands open, the space above your head open, the chakras in your feet open, and your heart space open. Okay, so do this a few more times. You're going to relax and drop your shoulders, to relax your forehead and muscles, your jaw, your tongue, your eyelids, your fingers, your toes, your thigh muscles. And simply allow the body to feel a softness and a gentleness. You're going to ask now to be more connected with the spirit of the earth. And the heavenly realms. Now bring your awareness to your forehead, to your ajna center, and begin to breathe through your ajna center. Bring all of your awareness there and feel as if there's like an opening there. You're going to breathe in light. You're going to begin to feel your Ajna center being connected to the great central sun. That's the spiritual sun behind our physical sun in the heart of our Milky Way galaxy. You're going to begin to feel your Ajna center vibrating to the frequency of divine and unconditional love. Now, keeping your awareness there, you're going to begin to breathe through your solar plexus. Going to begin to breathe the light through your solar plexus. And your belly button area. Okay, now, keeping your awareness on those 2 points simultaneously. Breathe in and through your sacred chamber behind your physical heart. And at the same time, feel your feet being really grounded with the earth, and the top of your head being very connected to the realms of heaven, and the palms of your hands also being connected to the great central sun. Okay, now you're going to disengage from your pain body, your emotional body, tribal consciousness, the chaos of the world, and all of first, second, and third, and fourth dimensional realities. And allow your awareness to drift through this arc of light into this free space that we call the oneness. You're aware of the oneness and you're aware of your body at the same time. Now we're going to breathe in the lavender violet through the body, as if the figure eight flow of those colors and vibrations are moving through your cells and organs of your body. Allow the body to breathe naturally, although some of you may experience no breath. Relax and receive. Now we're going to call upon the soul, your soul, to begin to integrate the true power of the 23rd Psalm in the body and in the energy field. Now, we're going to do a traditional version of the 23rd Psalm, but you will translate it in your modern-day version according to your character and personality. So allow the power of unconditional love and allowance moving through the violet and the lavender, the indigo, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Breathe deeply. Just feel the power of that. Now the Lord is neither male or female. It's a presence. The presence is my shepherd, I shall not want, or be in need of. The presence maketh me lie down in green pastures. The presence leadeth me beside the still waters. Take a deep breath. The presence restoreth my body. The presence leadeth me on the path of awareness. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I'll feel the power of your rod and your staff. Breathe. The presence prepareth a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. The presence anointeth my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy, called grace, shall follow me, shall be within me all the days of my life, and I dwell in the house of the presence forever. So take one more gentle deep breath and just receive and allow. Now you have full permission to begin to naturally integrate this experience into your daily life without the need to process, without the need to think or do. You have permission to simply be as you are, as God created you. In the beginning was the Word. And you are that Word. We each are that Word. All right, coming back to the body with more awareness, more joy, more love, more balance. Coming back, being fully present in the now moment, staying grounded. Remember to sip some water, be in the now, and when you're ready, open your eyes. And those of you that aren't ready yet, you can stay in the zone for as long as you need to and come back when you are ready. Make sure you're grounded before you do physical things.
Oh, that was powerful. Thank you, Kenji.
Yes, it'll continue to work until complete.
You know, it's been my experience that sometimes these attunements work on you for weeks. You know, some of them are really instantaneous, and others you just feel the power easing away blocks and loosening up tight-held beliefs, and things, you know, just take their own time to shift.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one I'm sure people will want to listen to over and over again, so thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Well, we have many questions coming in and comments, people sending in deep appreciation. Would you like to, there are 3 questions that are all closely related. I'd like to maybe read the 3 of them.
Okay.
So the first one is from Dennis in Longmont. I had a heart attack 3 years ago, and I've been dealing with deep depression ever since. I'm not able to rise above all of life's difficulties. Every day seems to be one issue after another. Could you do an attunement for those suffering depression? And the next one is from Carrie, and I'm not sure where. It says, I'm crippled with health concerns. I want only to serve others, and I'm stuck in fear with my own health. Can I change that? And the third is, I'm not sure of the name. It says Cece. My fear has to do with illness in my own body. How do I create change in my body by not fighting against it? Because if I'm in peace with the symptoms, aren't I ignoring my body's cry for help? Please, please ask Kenji this question. We did. So those three all kind of are interrelated in health concerns.
Well, we appreciate your sharing very much, you guys, and this activation addresses those things.
Perfect.
The show does. See,
go ahead.
We have this idea of healing. Oh, okay, then now I'm perfect. I'm like Superman, Superwoman. Well, I don't think it works that way. Because if you look at some people that are ill, that are missing limbs, that are partially paralyzed, and they're in the world and they're creating change and movement, and they are inspiration for many thousands and millions of people. You've heard these stories. Some of them make the news. Well, most of them don't. But some make the news and some make it in the sports news. But you hear these people that have overcome tremendous difficulties and they become successful, or at least in the eyes of the public anyway, and the press. So it doesn't mean, healing can just mean being absolutely peaceful with your cancer. It doesn't necessarily mean that your cancer is going to be healed. See, we have these notions about healing that are, I think, erroneous. Doesn't mean that you won't reverse cancer or fully recover from a stroke or heal diabetes or whatever. But the main thing is, are you at peace with your life? That's the main thing. If you're at total peace with your life 24/7, you can make your ascension and your transition. Or you can stay here. But if you are in some sort of emotional difficulty, your ascension and your transition might be a little difficult.
We also have many hands up. Nanette, do you want to call on someone?
Sure. And before I do that, I wanted to say, Kenji, that was incredible. And I've never heard anyone read the 23rd Psalm in such a way where I was hanging on every word. And right as you were finishing up, I just had this incredible connection that the poem by Rumi, The Out Beyond the Wrong Doing and Right Doing, there's a field.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, oh my gosh, that's like just a different way of saying the 23rd Psalm. So I'm just kind of wowed myself right now. So thank you very much.
Okay, you can stay wowed for a couple of years. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, that was really incredible. And I am going to go over to the phones. And if you want to raise your hand, you press star 2. And if you want to submit your comment or question for Kenji through the webcast, there's a question and answer box over to the left. But we're going to start with Randy. Randy, you have
Hello.
the microphone. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Randy.
I am divine love and infinite gratitude. Okay. I'm dealing with nerve pain, and I could say a lot about joy and gratitude too, but I'm dealing with this nerve pain as a result of taking a pharmaceutical Levaquin. Now, what it does is it wrecks the oligodendrocytes and the myelin sheath.
All right, here's what you do. Here's what you do. You just time travel and do a little reverse engineering on that. So you just close your eyes and just go back to when you took those meds, and you begin to just reverse unconsciously from your knowing the side effects from those meds. You keep all the benefits from those meds, and you just reverse engineer out of your field all of the what we call the negative side effects. So take a deep breath. So do this from your knowing. Do this for 7 days. And do it twice a day.
How can I expand my mind to accept myself as infinite?
Well, your mind's not going to expand. Sorry. We got you guys on that one. No, just know that your soul is really the only thing that really matters and exists in reality.
Thank you. I love you.
So, yeah, same here. Back at you.
Okay. I love your sense of humor too. We have
that didn't come overnight.
I know I do. I mean that.
Yeah, I prayed about that for a long time. Well, not a long time, but years, And it my jokes were not very good in the beginning, as some of the grad students can attest to. But yeah, it's getting better now.
Well, I think humor is so important myself. I wouldn't make it through a day if I didn't get to laugh about 45 times. So.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you. And now we're going to go to, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Tatiana,
Russian.
Tatiana?
Yes.
Welcome.
I'm not Russian.
Oh.
It's Tatiana from Toronto.
Oh, Toronto. Okay, my bad.
You know me. We talked already. And you were teasing me saying Tatiana from Toronto.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That's why I'm saying that. Anyway, I came to Canada from former Yugoslavia, so I have nothing to do with Russia except that my first language is Slavic language. And that's it. I'm so grateful for everything that you're bringing to this world, that you're bringing to me. And I would never miss whenever you are online for anything. And I really appreciate what the effect of your work on me. And today was very powerful. I really felt light coming to my ajna and activating some kind of diamond on the back of my head. And it was as if the diamond, it's a kind of crystal in a shape of diamond, had a kind of wasn't in use, and the light came and brightened up that as if it was cleared or cleaned from some residue or something like that. That was very clear vision. And then I felt a huge energy in my first chakra and the second chakra as well. It was kind of sweet surrendering in that area of my body. It was very sensual. And then at a certain point, when you said integration, my heart just exploded with love, and my body became very warm, and it kind of spread all over and connected, really everything connected, and that sweetness of sensuality in my first and second chakra was spreading up, and I was thinking, oh my God, is it Kundalini awakening or what? But it doesn't matter what's the name. It was amazing, and it's really when you mention word integration, it really worked. I feel it's that presence in me was very powerful. And I'm really thankful for you saying it's not a masculine nor feminine, it's presence. And you actually articulated for me the feeling that I have, but I was lacking the word for that. It is presence. And it's presence of love, grace, or whatever, but it's really presence, and I feel it very often. It just comes as a wave or transform in my heart if I'm too worried, too afraid, or too resentful or whatever. It really kicks in and takes over, and some kind of alchemy happens in my heart. So it is presence, and I'm so thankful that you helped me to find the right word. You actually found it. So
Thank you so much for sharing that. So just a little humor here. So if you had some orgasm at the bank, not my fault.
Of course, not your fault. It's presence. It's neither mine. It's presence.
Hey, wouldn't that be something, huh? People starting to have orgasms waiting in the bank line. Oh, that would be wonderful.
Like that.
Yeah. Very nice.
I don't need anyone. I don't even.
Oh, I cut her off a little bit there. Sorry about that. I'm going to go to our next caller, who is a cell phone in Santa Monica, California, with the last four numbers 9598. You have the microphone.
Holy moly, that must be me.
It is.
Kenji, I love you. I listen to you whenever I see that you're on somewhere. I am so happy all the time. I can't stand it. I mean, I can. So I'm just living the divine life. I chant Sanskrit mantras. I sit up straight every morning. I'm just happy. And I don't have a job, and I'm living off my savings, and they're dwindling down. About to have a divorce and agreed with this nice settlement that's just going to be okay, not great, but okay. I don't want to fight anybody. I don't want to fight. And I guess I'm ready for the next step. I don't see myself in a 9-to-5 job, but when the economist in me goes, what?
Yeah.
So we suggest
when you meditate every day, just ask for your next step regarding your work situation, your career.
Right. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Anyway, I just really want to tell you how much I appreciate you. And this call, I think everybody just got so stoned at the beginning. It was like all of a sudden you were just talking at the very beginning, and it was like, whoa. Maybe Sedona is spreading.
Yeah, it's happening here. Thank you for your sharing, dear.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. We're going to go to our next caller. GM from Greensboro, North Carolina. You have the microphone.
Wow, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, my question, Kenji, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, and I mean it. So my question is, which one is going to come out of my throat? I have a nodule that I've had since 1989. and I think it is there to get me to speak something. I have no idea what. Or it's clear some emotions, something. It appeared with my first diagnosis of cancer, which are all gone and cleared up.
All right. My sense is it has to do with a past relationship where you were controlled. And so when you understand that level,
okay,
and you bring forgiveness into that whole experience, then I wouldn't be surprised to see your throat change.
Got it.
All right.
Oh, do I ever? Thank you for your wisdom.
You're welcome, dear.
God bless. Bye.
Bless you.
Okay. Do you want to take it?
Well, no, why don't you go? Go ahead, Nanette.
I'll do a couple more, and then I'll turn it back over to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to Elizabeth Johansson. You have the mic. Or Elizabeth Johansson. Calling in on Skype.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello, welcome.
Hello, Kenji. This
Hello.
is Elizabeth from Sweden.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for everything, as everybody else does. We love you all that you're doing. I just wonder, my parents are really not in a good state now. They are into dementia. And I wonder if there's anything I can do for them more than to be in the light and try to send them positive energies.
Just choose to just decide to see them from a spiritual place rather than a physical place with a limited body.
Okay.
Choose to see the light that they are. And they'll respond. See, souls respond when you see them on that level. I mean, it's just natural. So when you see anybody from a soul level and your soul connects with theirs, well, that's a whole different ball game now.
Okay.
See? So don't see them in a physical way. See them from a spiritual place.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, we'll take one more call, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Dee. We have Julie Hastings from the Twin Cities. You have the microphone.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking my call. And I'm in like a huge transition period, and I'm getting just like a bit overwhelmed with like moving across country, selling my house, changing careers, and just wondering if you have any guidance in terms of, staying calm, having it go smoothly, and that kind of thing.
Well, choose to see it like an adventure.
Okay.
So they have done research, and they say one of the biggest, there's like 5 major things that stress people out. So one of them is moving, and of course one of them is changing careers or having to do with, changing work. So moving, packing, unpacking, all that stuff, garage sales, giving stuff away, all that stuff, and whatever you do that involves your relocation, this might bring up some heavy memories, but you're going to feel so much different when you get to your new location and your new work situation, and you'll reflect back and go, wow, that was really quite a move. So, yeah, thank you for doing that move. It's going to be a big, big shift for you, just like moves are for people and career changes. So, good for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Was that the last call, Nanette?
That is not. We do have 2 more hands up, but if you want to, do we have more?
Well, I think
what do you want to do?
Kenji, why don't we talk about your immersion into the power of transformation, and then also I'd like to talk about the Heart of the Quantum activation series that we're offering. And if we have time at the end, we could take maybe one more call.
All right. So what do you want to know about the package?
Well, I thought that we could start with the Immersion into the Power of Transformation, your live event that is happening October 9th. Yeah.
Yes. That one. So this is, folks, this is my only live event of the year because I have consciously decided to pretty much not travel anymore to do live events. But I will do selected live events. So this is the only live event of the year. I'm not doing any more 6-day retreats. So this is a group healing experience. And all I can tell you is when I tap into the possibilities of this, and this is still, months away, I get really good feelings about, like, what people are going to be able to experience. But this is going to be, how should I say, I'm giving it my best shot. You're going those that will attend will get the most current quantum news, so to speak. It will be very different, I am sure, from whatever I've done before. All I can say is it's going to be totally spontaneous. We're going to have Jennifer McLean speaking for an hour. We're going to have Anda doing her 90-minute bowl healing workshop, crystal bowls or Tibetan bowls, or a combination of. So that'll be a healing experience for the group. That's included in this event. Plus, the lunches will be free. So we are creating this event for those of you that are really, 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 really ready to move through that portal, to move through the doorway of transformation into the great unknown. Guaranteed, you'll be blissed out probably for the 2.5 days, and at the same time going emotionally through many deep and wonderful changes. And we designed this for soul family, for tribe to come together. So this is a calling for my tribe. This is a calling to your tribe to come together and meet your tribal people, your family. So it's not just another workshop or a 2.5-day event. It's a family gathering. It's a family reunion, and we're speaking spiritually speaking. So we anticipate there will be many people making connections and exchanging phone numbers and addresses and all that there, because it's designed for that. It's designed for people to feel very, very safe in a family atmosphere for 2.5 days, where you can just hang out and be yourself and be in joy and be in misery and be in whatever state that you're moving through, and feel completely supported and non-judged. And it's going to be a wonderful healing for the heart, in a sense.
It'll be a supercharge for the heart. It's going to be at the Westin in Los Angeles, California, so it'll be beautiful there. We want to go, don't we, Nanette?
Okay, we heard that. You want to go, so that means you must have put out a call to the universe to say, okay, reserve our 2 seats.
All right.
Yep.
So the other special offer that Kenji has made available to Humanity's team is an incredible one. It is a series called Heart of the Quantum, and there are 12 activations within the package. I've gone through all of them. They're amazing. You will feel the power like we felt on today's call, just really magnified, and you'll be able to access these at any time. There's first activation is On the Wings of Timelessness. Activation 2 is Soul Signature. Activation 3 is Miles and Miles, and that's Enjoy an Eye-Opening Activation. Activation 4 is Dominoes and Dimensions. Activation 5 is Cosmic Reconstruction. Activation 6 is Global Golden Robes. Activation 7 is Quantum Merge. Activation 8 is Magic Carpet Journey into the Temple. Activation 9 is a soft gaze, an expansion. Activation 10 is a soul star. Activation 11 is sipping the clear flame, a candle activation. Activation 12 is an energetic pathway home. And the bonus activation is 13, miracle consciousness. Bonus activation 14 is knowing into perfection. Activation 15 is knowing into perfection 2. These are all really incredible. I don't know if you want to talk a little more deeply about any of those, Kenji?
Well, since all of these activations are spontaneous, I unconsciously tap into the group, and we touch in the areas that are the group needs in a sense. So these activations aren't, we don't touch upon, we don't go into the areas that I think the group needs. The group actually tells me telepathically. And so I just spontaneously deliver the information. And most of the activations are over 20 minutes, although some are a little shorter. But even the very short ones are very powerful. So time really doesn't matter with these activations, because you can train yourself to deliver these things in a short amount of time, and it will have a lot of depth. And what I mean by depth is that since these activations are live and organic, each time you listen to it, you'll listen to it from another level, and then you'll get things that aren't even talked about in these activations. So, but these are just some of the highlight points that we go into in the activations, and I basically guide you to these places. And we always have periods of silence in these activations where you can really deeply receive in quiet.
You know, one of the questions I have for you, Kenji, is that when you have a larger and larger group of people joining in on the activation, is it more powerful? It seems to me it is.
It is.
And so these are just growing, energetically growing. With more people working with them.
The people that have purchased this package from since the time it was offered on the shows, all those people add their presence to these activations. So, yeah, it grows. It's like an amoeba that just keeps growing. And so we each contribute. Each time you listen to it, you contribute your shifts to the matrix of this particular package, which is under the umbrella of the quantum light weaving matrix and all of that. See, so it's like, there are so many levels to the QL work and what it can do for people. And much of what happens is on the unseen level. You're not even aware of how it's happening, when it's happening necessarily. So we say that most of the changes occur below the threshold of conscious awareness, which probably is a good thing. Because if you're driving your car, you probably want to know what's going on regarding a particular activation that you just did that day or the day before. But, if you sit down and just go into a quiet space, you can feel the power of these. And you can always ask, okay, so what did I get from this activation?
So this is quite an incredible package. The regular offering is $795, and the special price for our Living in Oneness Summit is $97. So that's really incredible. Thank you so much for bringing that offering in today, Kenji.
Oh, you're welcome. And just one little note here on an error on bonus number 1, the coupon offer for the phone session. So it'll expire 30 days from today.
Okay. I'll have our
So it'll be good through July 30th.
Okay. So I will have that fixed. And we didn't even talk about that. So do you want to bring that in real quick?
I love doing phone sessions because, we record it for one thing and send it to the person by email. Generally, we either record the whole 90 minutes or just the activation, which is really about 45 minutes. I try to time it to be half the 90-minute session. So the coaching part, going over your intake form, is the first 45 minutes. That gives me a sense of your history, what you feel you need to work on, what you want to work on, your spiritual goals, the traumas in your life, all that stuff. It's pretty thorough, and we can get a lot done in 45 minutes. And then the activation is designed around what we were coaching about in the first 45 minutes. So the activation is very specific, goal specific, and there are 3. What are those? They're not hawks. There's 3 I'm seeing now flying in the vista. So that's a sign for you folks. 3. What are they? We'll call them hawks, but they don't look like hawks.
Are they big? Are they larger than?
They're not big like eagles, but there's 3 of them, and now there's 2 flying sort of next to each other. So that's a sign, folks. 3 flying birds of some sort for you. Okay, and then we have a special bonus of $100 off the Weston event, and there's no expiration date on that. You could actually sign up with this discount at the last moment.
All right. Well, we will send out links to the offerings with our follow-up email after the call today. So, Nanette, do you have anything you'd like to bring in?
No, except for that I'm just so glad and honored to be part of this call today. And I'm feeling pretty relaxed, even given that my 6-year-old granddaughter walked in 2 minutes after you started the attunement, and I was like, oh no. But I loved it, and it's been a really awesome discussion.
It has been. So, Kenji, thank you so much for being with us. Would you like to share your website information?
It's KenjiKumara.com.
Okay. Well,
and I have a Facebook page, public figure page, Kenji Kumara.
Absolutely. Have everyone join that. I'd like to just update on what's coming up. Kenji, I'm going to say my thank you here. It has just been such a pleasure and a treat having you with us. It always is, and the time just flew by. It always does.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much. I'm going to update on our upcoming calls. We have the 12 Spheres, the Governance series with Peter Mary, and that's on July 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific. We have the Living in Oneness call with Neil Donald Walsh on July 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We have Llewellyn Von Lee on the Living in Oneness call on July 30th at 9 a.m. Pacific. We have Matt Kahn on July 31st, at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Also, mark your calendars for Global Oneness Day on October 24th. Kenji is going to be on the Global Oneness Day call with us, so we're super excited about that. You can learn more about Global Oneness by going to www.globalonenesssummit.org. We also would like to invite you to become a Community Circle member. You will instantly receive exclusive benefits for only $10 a month. In doing so, you will nurture the timeless access to all of our calls, and at the same time, you will be nurturing humanity's team. We'd like to thank all of our volunteers working on the Living in Oneness Summit, making all of our programming possible. Steve Farrell, Nanette Kennedy, John Thomas, Carrie Beach, Garth Catterall, Penny Heipel, and Monica Augustine, and I'm probably leaving some people out. Sorry if I am. We'd also like to thank you, our audience. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for helping us with our work in the world. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.